You're watching Straight Black Love Talk with your host, DC Radical One, the home of intelligent, mature relationship conversations.
Reading, no, hold up. My bad. Trying to get myself together. Straight Black Pride, brothers and sisters. This is your host, DC Radical One, along with Sister Najai. And tonight we are, and this is, of course, excuse me, SBL Talk, Straight Black Love Talk. And hope everybody's doing well on this Thursday, less than a week before a week before the commencement of Kwanzaa, and less than a week before the commencement of the unholy days, as I like to call them. So, I'm getting myself together here with the music and everything. Hope everybody's doing well. And the music is doing the music thing again, where I can't hear it. And there we go. Oh, wait, let me get my volume. Get back down directly. All right, there we go. So, waiting to see if people come in. I've sent the message out to a lot of people. Just waiting to see if they come in. Because tonight's presentation is largely brought to you by Sister Najai. She'll be leading the discussion, and we'll be getting started shortly. So I'm going to start with advertisement from our brother Elijah, and we'll get started from there.
All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Elijah Lewis. I'm coming from you at the Springfield Town Center in Springfield, Virginia for the Fall Expo. But I wanted to take a minute to tell you about my book, Your Jewels Are in Your Journey, Life Lessons to Reach Your Optimal Self. This book is about giving us the tools we need to be our optimal self as we go about our journey. I tell everybody is that we're all on a journey, so on that journey we learn that life lessons are jewels, the people that we connect with to be better and inspire us along the way are jewels, and above all you find out that you yourself are a jewel. Because if you don't know who you are, it's hard to know where you're going. So if you're interested in learning more about me and my book or my motivational speaking, I speak on topics such as freedom from life's addictions, the reality of your vision, and many other topics. So if you want more information, go to my website, www.elijahlewis.org. You can get your copies, book me for motivational speaking, and above all, see where the journey takes you. And at the end of the day, may you find many jewels on your journey and continue to be the jewel that you are. Thank you.
All right, thanks to our brother Elijah for that. That brother always supports, and so I have great love and respect for the young warrior. I think he's going to be great for our people moving forward, and it's always good to have people know that there are people coming behind you, willing to do the work. So, with that being said, speaking of doing the work, quickly, I gotta mention the 9th annual Dr. Chancellor Williams Day celebration coming up this Sunday. Man, it just came up on me quickly. I ain't even gonna lie to you. This Sunday, December 21st, 2025, we're going to be starting off with our breakfast at the Anacostia Busboys and Poets, which is located at 2004 MLK Avenue, Southeast Washington, D.C., 2020. This will be from approximately 10:30 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. Then moving forward from there, half an hour after that at 1 p.m. So sorry for you brothers that is trying to go to or watch the football game. My apologies, but we'll be having the gravesite ceremony at Lincoln Memorial Cemetery. That's 4001 Suitland Road, Suitland, Maryland, Section O, Lot 618, Grave 5. So we will be there honoring the great ancestor, Dr. Chancellor Williams. Of course, Dr. Chancellor Williams is the author of the book, The Destruction of Black Civilization, as well as the book, man, I lost lost the title. I believe it's the resurrection of Black civilization, yeah, but that's the general idea. So if you're in the DMV area, please come out. It's supposed to be a warm day too. I think it's supposed to be like 50 degrees, which is rare because normally we be out there freezing. So if we get some good weather, please come out to that event and join us in fellowship with us for that special day. First of all, let me see if Sister Najai is available. Sister Najai, are you here? All right, I'm gonna take that as she's not paying attention. Are you there? Look like your mic is on. Are you available? Okay. I can't hear her. If y'all can hear her, you can let me know. All right, I can't hear her. Let me see. I see it looks like some people have joined in the chat. Before they to brother, you got ripped off. So yeah, I don't hear the sister. So what we're gonna do, we're going to move on. Oh, she's having brother, you got ripped off. Okay, brother. That so I'm gonna take it you didn't get a chance or haven't spoken with the Barudis. If so, Jet, you can just put up a yes or no, and if no, that's cool. What I want to do is have them on first, which would be just see if they're available for the, I believe it's February the, let me look on my calendar. Doing a very inefficient job of doing, would be the 5th if we do it on Thursday. So see if they're available for that first Thursday in February. Thank you, brother. So Sister Najai is having issues with her mic. With her mic. So we're going to move forward. First of all, I guess Sister Najai has cloned herself. We'll see if that brings her to the studio. All right, so let's add the discussion to the stage while we're waiting on her. Oops, that ain't what I want to do. And that's fine, I guess. While we're waiting on her, I will start the discussion of the pledge. Now, you can repeat after me or not. Choice is up to you. I pledge allegiance to my straight, Black, and proud ancestors and to the culture and traditions which they founded. I vow to practice those traditions of straight Black love, family building, and nation building to the best of my ability, using all my life's energy, intelligence, and creativity. I also vow to do everything in my power to protect Black men, Black women, and especially Black children from sexual abuse, homosexuality, exploitation, and miseducation, as long as I'm mentally, physically, and spiritually able. Lastly, I vow to fight against any force, physical foe, ideology, or philosophy that threatens the straight, Black, and proud culture, regardless of origin. This I pledge in the name of my African ancestors and the divine creator. Ashe. Now, tonight's discussion, this love language discussion, what I realized is when the sister sent it to me, right? I was like, All right, I need you to elaborate. And what I found is that she probably doesn't think that this is a high level discussion intellectual. I think it is. And I thought that when she mentioned it. And then when she sent it to me and I started to before the greetings to Ito, good to see you. When she sent it to me and I began to enter the data into the machine, to the computer, I said, yeah, this is definitely this is something that people aren't going to be able to process in one sitting, And so hopefully she gets her tech together, because a large portion of this she presented herself. Now, again, we're going to start with the things that we always start with, and the cultural importance of marriage. In traditional African and traditional African American culture, marriage was an expected part of adulthood. In many African societies, you were not considered an adult if you were not married. The family was considered the foundational institution of the society. There was no debate about the equality of men and women, as each had their job to do for the society. During enslavement, Black men and women would often escape and try to find their spouses and children, risking life and limb. Black people would buy their loved ones with money that they saved up working overtime to get money to buy their spouses or children's freedom. And as I say often, the reason that I put this information up is because the reality is we do not tell the stories of what the lengths we went through to keep our families intact through the Maafa or the Great Disaster. And oftentimes the motivation for liberation struggles, the motivation for running away, the motivation for escaping, the motivation for slaughtering the slave master, the slave monster, was revolved around family. It revolved around maintaining a family, or some injustice that was done to a family member. Is not often talked about in society, even in Black society. That this is the reason for a lot of the things that took place, in the freedom struggle. I don't know how many people have seen the movie Panther, right? It's a fictionalized account of the rise of the Black man for self-defense. But there is a part in there where they're protesting, allegedly peacefully. Of course, there is no such thing as protesting peacefully, because if the state wants to brutalize you, you're gonna get brutalized. But anyway, they're protesting peacefully. I can't remember exactly what happened at that time. And then the cops start brutalizing them, and the cop, I think he's about to hit the main character, the protagonist of the story, who's a fictional character. And then the brother, played by Kadeem Hardison, he busts the cop upside the head, whatever, and he going off on the cop, and then another cop comes and busts him upside the head, and knocks him out, or whatever. And then after they get out of jail and they discuss it, his mother's like, what were you doing? Why would you do that, messing around with these people? You must want to get killed. And he's like, that cop was trying to put his hand, he was trying to put his hands on my mama, and I wouldn't have it. And so I only bring that up because even though it's a fictionalized account, it's still an example of what I was talking about, that things that happen in real life. So I just want to always inform us of that, because we're very confused right now about what we have done in the past, what it takes for us to get free, what it takes for us to really to survive, right, and to maintain. And so I like to bring up these historical examples again and again, until we get it or not. Now, speaking of historical examples, historical attacks on the Black family, the attack on the Black family began at the Kaffir lines where African men and women were separated. This continued in the slave dungeons like Elmina in now present-day Ghana, and continued on the slave ships where men, women, and children were separated. Our enemies know that our strength as a people comes from the family, and it is the family that allows us to pass down our culture and traditions. Ancestral memories passed down preserve our natural instincts. Without this, we are sitting ducks for our enemies. And again, as the proverb says, and I wish I had put it up here, Sister Najai, remind me to just put it up in every, after this slide in every presentation. The family is an army, and life is war, and the family is army. That's the complete proverb. So that shows the mentality of our ancestors about what was going on and what is going on and what will continue to go on until we finally conquer and vanquish all of our enemies and regain our rightful place on planet Earth and in the universe. Now, many times when uprisings occurred in the Black community, it was in defense of Black women or children. Robert F. Williams, if you don't know him, look him up, began his armed resistance in Monroe, North Carolina, after a Black woman was assaulted by a European male. This was the latest in a line of assaults, and when this person was arrested but not convicted, the sisters in the community simply looked at him and said, "What are you going to do now, Robert?" Well, Robert Franklin Williams, who was a former soldier, right, had been in the military, I can't remember, the Army of the Marines, he decided to use his training and his skills and gather his brethren who were similarly trained and people who were former military members of the United States military. They used their United States military training to defend their community from racist brutality and attack. And for that, Robert F. Williams was chased out of the United States on trumped-up charges of kidnapping some European. Ironically enough, he was actually protecting the Europeans from being brutalized or daring to basically stand next to Black people at the beginning of the freedom struggle. Of course, this was in the early 60s. Robert F. Williams was a member of the NAACP, but he decided that the NAACP tactics and strategies were not sufficient, and thus he transitioned to armed struggle, right? And Robert F. Williams would travel to Cuba and to China and eventually come back to America. And he's one of the revolutionary brothers. He wrote Negroes with Guns. He's one of the revolutionary brothers that we don't give enough credit to. And I believe he was actually a founding member of the Republic of New Africa. So if I'm wrong about that, you can correct me, but I believe that's actually the case. And so that brother's outstanding brother that we need to honor more often than we do. Now, of course, the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense in California helped protect Black children in Richmond, California from abuse by white teachers. This is a little known aspect of Black Panther Party history. What took place was that a brother, Denzel Dow, was gunned down by the police. The police claimed that brother Denzel Dow was breaking into a store, right? I think a liquor store, right? So the community did their investigation, and then somebody alerted the Panthers, and so the Panthers went to Richmond, which I believe is still in the Bay Area from Oakland. They did their investigation. They found that Denzel Dow had been shot with his hands up. The family alerted them that he had been injured in a car accident, and so the things that they said he did, like ran away from the police. The man couldn't run. He had a bad hip. They tell him, well, he jumped the fence. He couldn't do that again because he had a bad hip from the car accident. And so they found that the whole police investigation was a sham, right? And so while they were there and doing this investigation, they did a lot of things. They did a lot of organizing. They recruited people, and they also responded to the needs of the community. And one of the needs of the community was protecting the children from racist abuse from teachers. And so, some teacher would get out of hand and say something disrespectful. Well, Panther Cadre would come up and speak to the white teacher in a language that everyone can easily understand. I can only imagine when some big, bold black brothers who may or may not have been armed, I don't know about that aspect of it, right? I'm to speak to you about the sanctity of the black child. I'm sure it gets your attention, whether it's in 1960, 1860, 1260 BC, or 2026. And so, again, we have a beautiful example from the Black Panther Party for self-defense of doing what real black manhood and real black leadership looks like. So just wanted to let people know that. I know a lot of people don't know that history. Also, the Deacons for Defense often protected black women and children during civil rights marches throughout the South. Somehow, again, I just don't know how the Deacons for Defense just don't get spoken about. I believe they were founded in Louisiana. And as the freedom struggle began to ramp up and more threats came to black people and more violence was levied against black people, again, another couple of brothers decided, shotguns work better than placards and signs and in regards to protecting your life. And so they went about that mission, organized a handful of brothers, including some people who are actually church deacons, right? So nonviolent, and I'm not going to do anything to hurt my enemy part of church. Yeah, they left that part at home and dealt with the reality of the situation. And so again, a beautiful example of some beautiful brothers of how to deal with your enemies in a time of strife and struggle. And then lastly, members of the Black Liberation Army liberated Mama Assata Shakur from Clinton Correctional Facility for Women in New Jersey in 1979. And among those people who were allegedly involved, because we don't have pictures, were Baba Matulu Shakur and Baba Seiko Odinga. I don't remember the charges on Baba Seiko Odinga, but they kept him in jail for years and years, and they let him out. As a few years ago, but I think he may have transitioned since then. So again, this is an example of where everyone knows Mama Assata, where brothers and it was not talked about. I gotta give credit where credit is due. Even some European female that I saw was involved in this liberating Mama Assata from the clutches of the state at the time. And so, we give credit where it's due. I'm not sure ultimately what motivation of these people were. Actually, I believe I think it's two European females, and one of them wasn't even from America. I believe she's Italian. So, whatever her motivation was, it was her motivation, but she helped to liberate Mama Assata's core. So, again, I just look at it like this. When people talk about allies and stuff like that, because I hear our people a lot talk about allies a lot. If you breaking people out of jail, okay, that's an alliance. Then I'm okay. That's an ally, right? You funding revolutionary struggle. You break it without trying to tie it to you being in charge. You breaking people out of jail, like you doing hands-on work, or you bringing us information or documentation on what crimes that the state is committing against the people, and then I can do nothing but respect. But again, only in the aspect of cooperative nationalism, but not in any aspect of any integration. Like, we're not going to marry any European females because they're bringing us information from their fathers, right, who happen to be FBI, CIA, anything like that. We're not doing that. That is not on the agenda, right? We're only dealing with these people in the aspect of something that benefits us. Now, again, I am your host, DC Radical One. This is SBL Talk. You can follow me on Instagram at DC.Radical1, on Twitter at DC_Radical_ONE, on OTW2, which is a Black-owned platform, which is currently being updated and upgraded at DC Radical One, and you can donate via Cashapp, $ DC Radical One, or via Zelle at DC.Radical_1 at protonmail.com. So we will move forward. What is a love language? And Sister Najai, have you been able to make any progress?
Yes, not.
Let me hold on. You have any headphones you can use? If you have headphones or earbuds you can use, it'll take the echo out. And then we can go from there. Cause that'll. All right, so we're gonna read this definition. Let me.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, you sound fantastic. So, do you want to read your definition or read this definition that you created? If so, I'll turn my mic off and relax. You let me know.
How about now?
You still sound pretty good to me. Let the people in the audience.
Okay, hold on. I got it. There we go. Okay, my baby. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. You took the music off?
The music is on, but it is turned down. I can turn it. You want me to turn it off? I can turn it off. Now it's off.
No, if I'm not hearing the music, then it's still not all the way together. Give me like 5. Let me try again. If you can get the first one for me. Let me try again.
Okay, yeah, because I was getting ready to say it happens to me all the time. What I normally do is change the music and then I can hear the music. So you want me to do that before you log out or
Okay,
whatever?
let's try it. Well, I'm thinking that it's something on my side because I'm hearing you, but to not hear the music, it's like, okay, hold up. Maybe
No.
it's not in my headphones as it should be.
Well, no, hold on. Let me change the track. Do you hear the music now? Because I hear it now. Are you there?
There we go. We good to go.
Oh, you good to go? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I told you all you gotta do is change the music. So you want the music on or off?
Oh, either way is fine. Either way is fine. As long as I can hear.
All right. Yeah. No. Well, I mean, I can hear you. Apparently, you can hear me. But we can hear each other. All right. And that means that communication is possible.
Communication is possible. We're doing well.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm gonna be honest. A lot of times, Black people talk right at each other and still can't communicate, even though everyone is hearing. Hearing is maybe not optimal, but efficient enough to be able to hear based upon the distances that they're speaking to each other. So, Sister Najai is here after some technical issues. She has wrote this about love language, and I'm going to let her take this first slide. I guess. You ready?
Asante. My apologies, everyone, for late entry somewhat, but I have been here the entire time. Asante Sana. This was created mostly in line with the legacy of Black love and where I know we need to get to in order to overcome Maafa at large. That conversation, as well as just in general, the English language is leading us down a terrible road. We don't have but so many positive words in the English language to speak to each other, and that's apparent. by what we see today. So I, was thinking of love languages, and I did somewhat of my own definition that I'll read right now. So a love language is structured system through which a person or community perceives, interprets, and transmit care, responsibility, and life force in a relationship. Just as a spoken language has vocabulary, grammar, rhythm, and rules that shape meaning and behavior, a love language is built on values, standards, and practices that determine how love is expressed, received, corrected, and sustained. Love languages do not merely communicate affection. They preserve culture, shape moral development, govern relationships, and produce real outcomes for families and nations. When aligned with liberty, with nature, love becomes a force that protects innocence, is what that should say. It was about this, we're not even gonna go there. That protects innocence, enforces accountability, sustains lineage, and maintains balance. Proving that love, like language, does not simply describe reality, but actively creates it, putting us in a place of power to manifest the environment that we need. Brother DC, did you have something? I paused for you.
No, I was trying to see where the editor missed. That's all.
There was a few. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I didn't write this at all. But it's okay.
Hey man, we got to fire the editor. That dude did not be on his post, man. I don't understand what the problem is. Let's see. Yeah, okay, yeah, rhythm is crazy. I don't know what's happening there. That's and then what were you saying? You said produce real outcome. No, it was before
protects. I was about to say incontinence. It just messed me all up with the C and the no.
Hey, what? Come on, man. Oh Lord. All right, where? So I can stop laughing. First of all, that's the problem. I'm laughing too much. It protects. Oh, what? Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even know what
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is now.
That's how you know I wrote this actually, because I knew what it was supposed to say.
Oh.
Cause what?
Okay, yeah, we just delete that T. Innocence. All right. Protects innocence. Innocence is so rare in American society that like actually it out, the computer's like, nah, bro, I don't even know what that word is. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness. Yeah, let me just look over this again now that I ain't gonna lie, I've been in front of the computer too long today. Eyeballs is kind of hurting. But yeah, I found your definition of love that interesting. I'm not gonna lie. When we first had the discussion, I didn't know where you were going, right? Like when we were speaking, and you were like, I don't know why you don't understand the concept. I'm like, and what I'm thinking is, because I can't visualize the concept. That's why I don't understand the concept. Like I know what love language is from I'm familiar with it, vaguely familiar with it from a European perspective, but I knew that's not where you were going, so I didn't have any idea where you were going. But then when you presented the information, I was like, okay, this is going to be very profound. So again, just get deeper into what made you or what inspired you to craft this statement.
Well, I've always been people would say aggressive against the English language, aggressive in general, but specifically against the English language, as going so far as to literally feel like I don't even want to speak to my children in this language. Learning everything that we know, and now having such access to knowledge, it's like we need to be able to get out of it and taking a look around, indeed, taking a look around to see how English is used against us, I really wanted to hear you speak on that. And you already do speak on like using the N-word, having the rules of anybody in this space. If they want to speak about our people, you're not going to disrespect our people using language. That's a profound thing in itself, because how many, people use safe spaces. I really don't like the term. I use sovereign states instead, but how many sovereign states, places where you can enter that you have to be held to the standard of respecting our people, even just with language. So, India.
What's interesting is it wasn't, how can I put it? It was something that had been implemented before Straight Black Pride by PKB, and it doesn't seem like a lot of things that Straight Black Pride came into, it was brought from other places or whatever, didn't seem as important at the time. But now that we aren't able to have it, we don't have access to as many venues, so we're not able to implement our culture the way we were before. It becomes painfully obvious how necessary it is. Like, you cannot. I was talking to a brother, and this is not related to language, but it's related to health. I was talking to a couple of brothers. One time, Jenny, another time to another brother. I said, man, I asked them, I said, can you go outside anywhere in our community without somebody smoking something? And they kind of looked at me. They kind of, you know how people pause, kind of think about it. Because, okay, I don't smoke, right? But if I go outside and you smoke, then I'm smoking. I don't vape. But if I'm outside and you vape, now I'm vaping. And so you're killing yourself slowly, but you're killing me as well. And now I'm just standing outside. And because we haven't created any sovereign spaces where you can be safe from that. You can be safe from the N-word. Because again, right, you ride public transportation in the Black community, somebody's going to be playing N-word music with somebody mumbling, and really the only thing you can understand is that they talking about killing Black people. That's all. That's the only thing you can make out of everything they saying. Right? So even if they're not talking about using the N-word, which most of the time they are using the N-word and killing Black people, like if you in quote unquote hood, these micro, I'm gonna use the words they love to use, these microaggressions against the dignity of Black people are ubiquitous. Like, you can't go anywhere except your own bathroom to avoid them. And so when you speak about the language, I understand, because we're under various forms of assault almost 24/7 when it comes to Black people, and disrespect, because we allow it and perpetuate it, and then want to argue with people about the word or the disrespect, but we're not showing any self-respect. I don't care who you are. If you're not respecting yourself, getting other people to respect you while you disrespect yourself, that's just crazy. It's never going to happen. So go ahead, my sister.
I mean, ready for the next slide, I guess. You rounded that up. Getting people to respect us while we disrespect ourselves. We can talk about the whole everything right there in that. It's not possible. Because we know it's not possible, we gotta move forward. We'll talk about that, I don't think next, but we'll talk about that soon. All right, bet. The current love languages are incomplete and non-functional. The Romance languages are directly descended from Vulgar Latin and evolved from the legacy of Roman sexual dysfunction used to perpetuate chaos and confusion. I once again did not Whereas I wrote these, I did not type them into this format. And so please, anybody that would like to potentially hire me as an English tutor, know that it was not me. I did.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that the person that inputted it did not have time to proofread it. All right. That's obvious. Mm-hmm. So no, Sister Najai is not responsible for typesetting that is done during the presentation. I can attest to that. I know intimately the brother that is responsible for that. And let's just say he's not going to be a secretary anytime soon. All right? All right.
We will be teaching courses on how to copy and paste moving forward. But until that time, I can say I'm glad that you added in the Roman sexual dysfunction, because that's something that like I did not put that. But now to reread it as such is like, wow, the legacy of Roman sexual dysfunction is right there. And I thought it was interesting that the concept of romance, because when you look at the Romance languages, it's the typical, West European countries and Romania, which, is odd, but
right. So
they're saying it's vulgar, right? French and Portuguese and Spanish and that, right? But all of them are descended from vulgar Latin, and so I don't know what they were using the word vulgar for before, but it fits perfectly into what we see vulgar to be now, because every last one of those languages and cultures is now oozing onto the innocence that we spoke about earlier, the innocence of our culture and yes, used to perpetuate chaos and confusion. So, asante sana for your edits. I needed that.
I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm like, what is the actual antithesis of vulgar, like linguistically? Like, what's the word? The opposite of vulgar, because when you put that, I was like, well, I know her, so I know she's right. And I'm like, okay, so what's the non-vulgar Roman Latin? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Their whole society is vulgar. So what's really going on?
When I looked it up, they were using vulgar to say informal. And when you look up the word vulgar, it says lacking sophistication or good taste / unrefined. So because it wasn't very specific Latin, they said, oh, well, it's vulgar, it's unrefined.
That's European society in a nutshell. What are we talking about?
Right. So telling on themselves, and then they tried to reframe it as Romance languages.
Yeah. Okay, because I'm looking at it right, and just it's not speaking linguistically, but it's saying tasteful, restrained, decorous, or genteel. Yeah, those are things that they all pretended to be around us in order to confuse us, but that is the nature of European society in a nutshell. Yeah, their base level of society is vulgarity. Just as an outside observer, America really is the pinnacle of vulgarity from a European society. And as Barbara Rudy always said, and Kwame Ture said the same thing. America is New Europe. I was thinking about that the other day. I think I was taking a shower or something. I was like, yeah, because this is New York. I mean, you got New York, you got New England, you got New Brunswick and all these other stuff. I'm like, nobody ever asked, well, where the heck is the old Brunswick? Where's that? Where's old York at? You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that just took me there. So my bad, sister.
I appreciate your contributions. Keep going. Western love languages focus on individual gratification, not collective survival. They prioritize personal affirmation, over communal duty, romantic feeling over moral structure, and expression over responsibility. Expression over responsibility is like, you can package that as the primary issue with the character behind the LGB push, the people that now identify themselves as such and then push it on. It's like, why don't you understand your expression is not it's not making the world, or let me say it like this, it's not making the stars spin. It's really not. The responsibility of your community matters so much more, and they always fail to recognize that. You're not going to lead a movement with what you do in the bedroom. You're going to lead the movement with your responsibilities. So, yeah, I had to go off on that for a minute.
Nah, go ahead. If you got any more, I'll turn my mic back off. But yeah, that's interesting that you said that, because within the word responsibility is the ability to
respond, right?
And if one has made it a habit in his life to abdicate his manhood, right, to turn his manhood over to another man, then the ability to respond with necessary, forceful, and brutal tactics to repel attacks from an enemy are not high on the priority list, right?
Right.
Even if the person has the capacity, the chances of them using that for the betterment of the community or society and Black society is very small, right? Now, in European society, it's different because that paradigm is from their asili of their culture, right? But for us, it produces a different animal, if you will. So yeah, that was really deep that you put that in there, because when I looked at it, I wasn't thinking about them as far as the individual gratification. But once you said it, that makes sense. Also, I changed your survival to survival. Because one, Baba Baruda uses the word, but two, I'm just like, I've personally been in survival mode. I'm tired of us being in survival mode. Like, I want us to get advanced to survival mode, where not only are we surviving, but we're moving towards a thriving amongst our people in our community. So that's why I changed that, because I heard you pause, like, wait a minute, I ain't put that in. So, yeah,
I absolutely agree with you. Me and Dio, yes, that's what we need. Survival, moving our way into sovereign mode. That's where we need to be going. Was there anything else, or can I go to the next slide?
No, say romantic feeling. Well, romantic feeling over moral structure. Let's get into that. I don't think I can say it right now. We're not gonna finish all the slides tonight, so it is what it is.
It's not that many of them, I think, unless you added more.
Once I typed it out, it came a lot. But now break that down. The romantic feeling over moral structure, because I can look at that like a lot of different ways, but I wanted to see what your take was before I get into it.
Unfortunately, my time spent on the internet is flooded with nonsense, and so the first thing that comes to mind is a Black man on a podcast with Euro-looking, Latin-looking women, none of them looking Black at all. And he's on there saying, ladies, what you need to do is ask your man if he wants, and I feel like you can insert what would be the most abominable thing, right? And he went on to say, no, you need to ask, because I love it. And he described, I hold my hold my knees and let you go to
Wait,
town.
wait a minute. I saw that and I didn't even like. I saw the beginning. And I was like, yeah, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm glad you did. 'Cause I watched it and he just got worse and worse as he went. And you know, the fact that he and there were some of the women, which is funny because all Euro enough, right? But some of them were like, nah, no, I can't do that. And then the one woman, she was like, oh, absolutely. Especially, you know, if we're dedicated, if we're committed, then I'm doing whatever it is that my man asked, which you almost want to commend that to a degree. But then he went on to express that although that's what he wants, he draws the line at her, I guess, moving forward and putting anything inside of him. But to me, moral structure and how the relationship should be set up, you as the man should never be in a position to now be how do I say it? It's like you're trying to tell me what to do, but you're at the same time bending over, or like there's a lack of structure, and it's all because he's looking for this Roman feeling, and that's the first description that comes to mind.
I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't thinking that.
You see, I kind of like skipped over it, right? Like,
That's one of those things where you ask for something and then people start handing it to you like, wait, nah. You know, you go to a restaurant and the menu's in another language and you think you want something. You like, yeah, I want the escargot, and they bring it out. They're like, hey man, they look like some snails, bro. Yeah, I asked for the mental escargot on that one. That was a mental mistake. Oh yeah.
I'm glad you used a language example, because exactly that's what we're doing tonight. Okay. We're moving on. Yeah, we're moving on. That's that. That's that. Okay. Dysfunctional love languages.
Oh my God. How in the world? Man, I'm tired. Anyway, proceed.
These frameworks do not fully serve a people whose love was designed to build civilizations, not just relationships. Our disconnect is evident with how language is used against us. And we were talking briefly about, you know, you can't go outside without hearing somebody be disrespected. I don't know if it's like that in other regions, or if it's just is it just an English language thing? No, I'm sure it's not, but I feel like the English language and American English specifically is inherently disrespectful. So to be living in this region is very evident that we're disconnected as a people. And I'm talking about, you know, Black love, Black women and Black men, but even, you know, beyond that, brothers and sisters and, you know, just citizens at large. We are largely disconnected, not too far away from civil war, for real. So this is not even just a race issue. Everybody disconnected. It is a language of chaos and confusion.
You know, it's so interesting that you said that, because one of the number one propagators of that is the current president of the United States. Like, disrespecting people is his language. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he lives to be petty. Like, that dude is just, it's crazy that this is an adult, like 70. It's like, it's totally, I mean, he just, it's really insane. You know, he'll mention some people. And if you're anybody that he doesn't like, he's going to say something slick out of his mouth. When he was with Marjorie Taylor Greene, when she was like, hey man, you know, this super pro-Israeli thing is kind of like not in alignment with, you know, being America first. And then that just sent him off. So the the bad examples are coming from the top in this current society. So the chances of it getting any better with that going on, I don't know how that's going to happen. Yeah, sister, you can continue.
Survival.
Okay, I couldn't hear you for a minute. Could you
Oh,
repeat that
okay.
one?
Sure. Modern love languages prioritize personal comfort level over collective survival. And that's pretty much what I was describing on the last slide, as well as a wider conversation on spoilage, as Baba Mali Mubaruti words it, the comfort that children and adult children would rather choose over their own survival, especially not survival. You'll see people grind so that they can get to a point of comfort, but to grind for the collective thriving nation, the African nation, we're not built like that in Western society. Just keeping it a buck. We're really not. Even when you look in, I'm sorry.
No, I just said absolutely. You can go ahead.
Yeah, even when you look at certain, what we'll call a second world or whatever, if the parenting isn't there and not even just parenting, but the community, the nation, if the community's Celia is not strong, that child is going to aspire to be like Western children. So even if you don't have all the access of an America or UK or wherever, there's still in, quote unquote, low income countries, this issue of spoilage where you see people just choosing their own comfort. And I'm gonna work hard, but only so that I can get up out of here and not have to deal with people no more, or just soak up this last little bit of the trickle down of American apple pie dreams and all of that, and no thoughts at all about how the world is going to survive. How we cutting down all of the trees and everything, and just in general not going to make it as a human race. People like to say HUEMAN. It's not going to happen if we don't work together and stop choosing the comfort that capitalism has provided, the sickness of it.
And what's interesting is while you say people will grind to that comfort, but when you look at the system is set for exploitation. So grinding to that level of comfort eventually gets you to the level of discomfort that we see now as America heads towards economic collapse. And discomfort normally sparks revolution, but I have my doubts at this time, simply because of who would have to be involved and who they would have to attack. And so it's an interesting dynamic that's currently taking place here in the hills of North America.
Absolutely. Continuing on, because I would like to get through. It's spread out, but I'd like to get through. The dysfunctional languages. Emotional expression is valued more than responsibility. We had talked about that before with the Legba cues. Desire is centered, while discipline is avoided. Pretty much saying the same thing, right? But seriously, the idea of what I want is so much more important. And doing what it is that I need to do, avoid it. That starts young. All of this really is from childhood. So imagine now you as an adult don't have the ability to function because we didn't pass down the tool of love. Love is framed as affirmation instead of alignment. So that looks like the trophy wife. That looks like, I have multiple baby fathers because I'm just looking for, whoever wants me. And a lot of times women just looking for a check, which is a whole nother level of out of this world. Next up, these models cannot sustain Black families, Black lineage, or nation building.
Yeah, if I could interject, when you said desire is centered and discipline is avoided. One thing is it's been framed in this society that the men are undisciplined, as if that they can just when they're playing as if a player could be a player without the involvement of women. And it's interesting that you said that, because I was looking at something and a woman had wrote that she had cheated on her husband, but she wanted his forgiveness and wanted to work on their marriage. Right? She wrote this in a thread or whatever, and the guy responded. He like, so you went out and destroyed your marriage. And he said, he was like, this probably ain't the first time. This is just the time you got caught. And he went off on her. And I thought about it, and I was like, he's right. Like, what is there to repair? You destroyed it. There ain't nothing to repair. Man can't never look at you the same. He can't even touch you, because whenever he touch you and you make some type of response or make some type of noise or some type of movement that you wasn't making before, that's just gonna go straight to his brain that you learned that from that man or whatever. And so then the man was right and say he wasn't doing this and that, blah 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 blah. He said, we've seen it before, we heard it before, and we don't want to see it no ahead before that moves. And I was just like I was like, at first it was like, yeah, it's kind of harsh. But when I thought about it, you hear that story a lot from women. And I have said this before a long time ago, and people don't understand it. People try not to understand it. A man cannot be a player only dealing with women. That's not how it works. Every player that I've known for 40 years, including some that I'm related to, we're dealing with somebody that was allegedly somebody else's fault, even if it was a one-time thing, right? And so I just wanted to say that when we talk about that desire being centered, that's not just men, right? As a man, you can find yourself in a situation where a woman is really feeling you, and you thinking, all right, cool, she feeling me, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling her. And then somebody informs you after you, how can I say, after you enjoy the benefits of this individual's attention, that, oh yeah, that's so-and-so's girl / wife / baby mama or whatever. And you like, huh? You know what I'm saying? And so, hey, man, I just wanted to just talk about that. So I guess we can move forward.
Okay. Okay. Updating and recentering our compass. Now, compass is one of the K's within Real KKKK. So if you're not familiar with it, check out the website realkkkkk.com. Get acclimated. We know how Black love is supposed to function from our legacy. We must now reconfigure the compass that leads us towards our center. Shifting our standards is this? I think maybe that was supposed to be here. Not sure. Shifting standards. The moral compass in the U.S. has shifted from character to convenience, as we, at this point have exhausted is the reality. Standards are negotiated instead of upheld. Love becomes flexible, conditional, transactional, and ego-centered. Let me move real quick.
I just want to say I added the transactional aspect. I thought that fit.
Absolutely. We can all pretty much. Oh my gosh! And especially when you add in the aspect of capitalism. At this point, nobody is interested in the concept of a relationship unless you know it's going to add some kind of financial value. So, what do you bring to the table was an issue for a lot of women. And I don't think I really understand why. I really don't, because I feel like if you can expect a man to financially benefit you in some kind of way, then there shouldn't be this idea that we're now already being transactional. I think women were upset saying like, oh, well, why is it that I don't really know what the argument was, but I know women were very upset, like, internet women groups, very upset about what do you bring to the table. And like, writing think pieces on it. And I was not getting to the understanding of why is it so wrong? It was almost like they were calling everybody bees. Well, back when it mattered to call somebody the B word. Did you understand the issue of what do you bring to the table?
No, I heard various women's arguments, and it seemed like they were trying to say that it was demeaning or dehumanizing, but in reality, if you're not, like you said, using your example, if you're not against being called the B word, how are you against being asked a question? And
just a simple question, it seems, and like it doesn't have to. And this is the next thing, the women are upset because it's like, oh, well, you expecting me to say cook and clean and this and that and da da da. It's like, well, that's something potentially that you would be able to do without having to have, given the man any money for real, or anything sexual even.
Yeah, the part that's interesting is that one thing I see about quote unquote modern women is whether it's a lack of interest or they just don't care, but a lot of women don't know how to entice a man in a non-sexual manner or how to please a man in a non-sexual manner. And the women that know that secret, which ain't really a secret because men actually like been saying the same thing for a long time, but women just ain't listening for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. Those women are going to be the ones that win. As far as them not only getting a man and getting married, but getting the type of man, the caliber of man they want, because they just know some simple universal truths and are willing to act on it, where other women are on complaining and talking about what they're not going to do and this and that. Why you come on the internet to tell everybody in the world what you're not going to do is wild to me, because here's one thing I do know about women. Whatever they're talking about is only applies to the men they ain't attracted to. The men they are attracted to, don't none of that stuff matter. None of that stuff. Mm-hmm. It's all, it's all a show. You just putting on for, I don't know who you trying to impress. You can't, an old man like me to know the game. You can't fool me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that I'm the type of person that these particular women would do XYZ for. But I know I can find them. And I can bring them to the table and watch how they react. I know that much because I've seen it before. And I'm probably going to see it again as long as I'm still breathing for more than a few days. So, yes, it was all a bunch of nonsense.
That was a random limitation. It leads right into what you were saying, though, of standards are negotiated instead of upheld. So a woman is more likely to give up all standards depending on like you said, like on the right man. Yeah, and on the flip side, I see a lot of men dropping and negotiating their standards, the first thing that I thought about was, I forget which one, if it was Tia or Tamara, but her divorcing her black husband for really what was him saying, I guess he wanted her to, the way that she described it, they got divorced because she wanted to be free. And so that means that clearly he was preventing her from freedom somehow. And so that must have been him not wanting her to be naked online all the time, because that's what she did when she got divorced. So it's like, okay, now she's finally free, and that was how she chose to use her time. She didn't even really go and do any work or anything. I don't know what it was that he was preventing her from doing, but yeah, that clearly ended up being the worst decision she could have made for her life and her family.
Yeah, you know, he brought her up like a lot of the last two slides, she's an example of. And I'm not gonna lie, I never understood what her problem was. And there's a few other women we talked about, and then you just looking like, whatever else you need, we don't have it here because you already had it. So we can't help you. We don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like when Steph Curry's wife started talking, it's just like, you're with a 6'3" millionaire guy that's light skinned and got great eyes. We don't have nothing else in the husband store for you. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of took the dude that a lot of women want. We ain't got nothing else. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? We running out of them type of millionaires. You know what I'm saying? You want a younger version or something? I don't know. But you know, these women, it's almost like they get in their head and convince themselves that they're not satisfied with what most women claim is their dream. And so it's just, to me, I'm not gonna lie, I just observe and just shake my head and just be like, glad I'm not dealing with that type of woman. I don't even know what I would say or do.
You know, it's interesting. Neither one of the husbands that you just mentioned would be people that I would like think about when I think of character, but still I can see them upholding at least a little bit of character, and that being the issue that they chose to, you know, the hill that the wives chose to divorce on. And what they did instead was choose the convenience of freedom, and not even, you know, they use the word women liberation, but it's like, it's definitely not about liberation. It's more so the convenience of doing what you want to do when you want to do it, and, you know, not having to have any accountability, take no account of what you have done or are so pressed to do. Why is it just so pressed to do that? To, you know, be out here looking in this way. Oh, well, about ego-centered. I guess that's what it is. Ego-centered.
Yeah. That's it. That's definitely it. Yeah, you're right. You know, looking for attention from other men, looking to have your ego stroked, you know, feeling overshadowed or limited by men. What's weird is that it's like they don't understand that it's like they're still in competition with their husband, not understanding signed up to be in a partnership, so it doesn't matter. You know, it's almost like a football player that's mad that he's not getting the ball. We went in 35-3. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, man, I only got 5 passes a day. Like, bro, we was up 30. We weren't throwing the ball no more. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Look at the score. We won. We're in first place. Like, what is the problem? You know? And that's how some of these women are they're just not understanding the context of you're winning. Like, don't talk your own success and destroy your own happiness because of, I guess because of feelings. I don't know what else it could be. Yeah, that's all I got on that.
I hear you. I got a question though. On the bottom when it says love becomes flexible, when I think about flexible, I think of the open relationships, the people that are not trying to hold any kind of boundary or I don't want to say standard because that sounds rude, but it's like, to me, not is the boundaries is just wherever they decide they want to put them for an open or flexible relationship.
I didn't even think about that. That's interesting. Nah, go ahead. I mean, cut you off. Go ahead.
No problem. Do you think that, and let me expound first. So, like I explained, it's an open relationship potentially, right? But the worst of an open relationship is two Satanists, right? Two people that are just, as Kendrick said, just fans. They're just freaky for the reason of evil, ultimately. Freaky with the purpose of evil. That's the worst case scenario of an open relationship, because now it's just people that are getting together with the idea of just spreading the nonsense. But I think some people would describe an open relationship also as what we see with polygamy and people trying to get into different structures of the loves that they've created. So sometimes you say that there's people that are already in polygamous relationships and just don't really notice or recognize it. Do you see the parallel of that? And do you think that it's fair to call that flexible as well?
Well, it depends on the standard that is set and who, if anyone, is there to enforce the standard. I can see how people can make a comparison. But by the way, Jack Beasy, that's actually how the sister wants it spelled. Sister, would you like to expound on why you spell compass that way?
I was literally just typing it. Compass is spelled with a K for the same reason that Cathiopia is spelled with a K, for the same reason that Africa is very often spelled with a K. That's all.
Okay. You want to let them know because they probably don't know.
I just let them know just now.
Okay. All right. So, what was I saying? Oh, look at me. Yeah, I can see how people can make that parallel, but like again, it depends on the standard and who's enforcing the standard. So, the difference between what's supposed to be polygamy and what I call the ball game back in the day is that the man is responsible for multiple wives, not just fornicating with multiple women. And that may sound like a distinction without a difference, but it's a huge difference, because if you father children with that woman, you're responsible for those children. Or if you are in a relationship with that woman, you are responsible for her upkeep as far as her protection and as far as whatever provisions that you have. And in most cultures, your provision and the things that you provide as a man are supposed to be on par with each other. So you're not supposed to like take your first wife and you discard her, but you still married, and you take the second wife and you taking her on trips to France, or you know what I'm saying, while your first wife at home in the hood. You know what I'm saying? That's not how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to be able to deal with them with some equity, and if not, then you're not supposed to. Then you're not dealing with authentic polygamy, and so I think that is the difference, right? Now, here in the Western society, it's much more difficult to maintain that for various reasons. One, it's not legal, so the woman doesn't have the legal rights. But if she goes in as a baby mama, she gets even more rights than she will as a wife. And two, the society doesn't, like you said, discipline is not at the root of this society. And contrary to popular belief, to deal with multiple women takes a level of discipline that may not be higher than dealing with one woman, but it's different. You know what I'm saying? Because once you say, okay, I'm gonna have these two women, then you have to have the discipline to not just engorge yourself with women because you like, man, if I can maintain two women, I can maintain this number. Nah, bro, no, you can't. Trust me, because just maintaining both two women emotionally, good luck. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Good luck. It is, man. Two black women, man, please, and don't. Let's do not go out here and get women who are on different ends of the look scale or from a color standpoint, different shades of black women. Oh boy, man, you talk about opening up a can of worms. But anyway, since I didn't mean to digress and go off on a tangent, but yeah, I can see how people could get that confused, but I believe that those are two totally different things when implemented correctly.
Those were certainly positive distinctions that any man that's using polygamy as a title or however you're trying to invite women into your polygamous dreams have to understand the differences and really map out what it is you're talking about. Okay. So the next few slides are about updating and recentering our compass. Recentering our compass meaning we need to get back to center. We have lost our way. African people need to recenter themselves. And the next topic is going to be assimilation in the wrong direction. Assimilation weakens family structure and identity, literally weakening the identity of your whole entire lineage. We can go over numerous celebrities that were clearly black, and within sometimes less than 2 generations, you can't even tell that the descendants, the people that are now going to carry the legacy of that black person, you don't even know. They got a whole white grandchild, completely white.
You look at Robert Nesta Marley's mother, and then you look at his children and grandchildren, and it's plain as day. Patrick Mahomes' father and Patrick Mahomes' children. He has white children. Now that's all. Patrick Mahomes' father has white grandchildren. Plain and simple. Because those children that he got with that Patrick Mahomes got with that white woman, those are white children. But my bad.
No, that's a fact. I will say you can tell the difference within Bob Marley's family alone. You can tell the people that tried to conserve and the people that did not. So you look at the I don't know specifically the son that but had children with Lauryn Hill. You can tell that that's Lauryn Hill's child, as opposed to, some of them, you could tell that, oh, okay, yeah, he's a Marley for sure. Some of them, you just like you say, you wouldn't know. You just wouldn't know. So it is a conscious decision that you're making to weaken the family, and you have to think not just in the moment of this one, night stand, but the longevity of it only really takes one generation to get to that point of completely erasing your identity as a black person. You cannot play about, don't bring no white girls home. Don't bring no white, why are you even looking at them? If you're not instilling that, your experience as a black person could be completely wiped out in 2 generations or less. We have to take that seriously, because look at where we are now.
I was getting ready to say, you look at the great Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest among us over the last 100 years, and he had a grandchild that Nico Ali Walsh, supposed to be his grandchild, a boxer, and I saw that dude. I was like, man, I don't know who this white dude is, but y'all can take them things out of his head and stop pretending. You know what I'm saying? Even some members of the family are like, yeah, we gonna have to check out who this is, and we don't know that. We don't know you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That just goes to show.
That's a fact. Next up, are people seeking to build strong families cannot mirror a collapsing culture. If you are right behind pop culture, right along with your children, you're gonna have a hard time breaking free from the negative effects of popular culture. You're not gonna be building a strong family if your main focus is being up to date with the latest TikTok trends and doing it with your children so you can get more views or whatever people is doing. It's not going to look good for you in a few years when everything collapses and you weren't spending your time building up your children's ability to survive. And I don't even mean thrive. I mean literally survive. Because that is still at stake. Everybody only gets one life this go round. You have to make sure that your children can walk through this world and use the full potential of their life, and then instill within them the necessity of making sure that their children are, surviving in their life and continuing on. Like it's not going to work. America's only but 200 something years old. Why are you being a follower behind a society that is not the world's infant, but basically Urugu's infant, Omen child? It's not a good look. Not a good look on character of the family. Not a good look on the survivability of the family. Can we move on? Or you have anything to add?
Nah, well, I just see you just looked over our scholars Franz Fanon and Amilcar Cabral. I see you just bypassed that altogether.
I wasn't saying move over like to the whole slide. I was saying like to the next bullet, because I only just read the second bullet just now. I didn't even read the third one yet.
Yeah, you can definitely get to the third one. Absolutely.
Okay. Respectability cannot come from blending into dysfunction. That is pretty much not even because blending, I will mention this. It seems like a lot of black men are intent on like, we have to fix this problem using white women as a way into the epicenter of the chaos we're trying to fight. And I've heard that described in a lot of different ways. Recently, the idea was that, once we get the world to be mostly mixed children, then we'll finally be able to fight the white man. And it's like, where have you gone in the depths of your mind to
sanity? How are you gonna use mixed children to fight? See,
they're trying to say there won't be any white men left, or there won't be any white people left if everybody's mixed.
First of all, that means there won't be any black people left if everybody's mixed. Like, I don't know how we just bypass that part of the equation. That don't make no sense. Like, this is why every year we honor Dr. Chancellor Williams and his book, The Destruction of Black Civilization. Because one of the things he talked about is race mixing, integration. The horizontal mumbo jumbo between black and non-black people is a key element in the destruction of black civilization. Let's just be honest. whenever we get to doing a whole lot of mixing with other people, the children that come out always turn on black people and side with the other people. That has occurred from time immemorial, going back to like the 10th dynastic period of ancient Kemet, all the way up to right now at this moment. Sister, you may continue. I just had to get that off my chest.
Well,
that is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that is the history of Brazil. That's a lot of countries' history. The thought that I'm going to actively rape the people and just blend it out and then use who looks like me to benefit, I no longer need to be in the community, ruling the community. I can just let my children do it, or my children's children. I don't actually care about them. They're not, it's terrible. Using the children.
It's the enemy has used that tactic for them for a long time, and we're not any position to impose that for our benefit. Like, first of all, this is one thing. Let me say this real quick. Negroes don't be paying attention because you're already mixed to some small degree. So anything you produce less than 50% black, which is half the problem right there, right? Obama was as pure a mulatto as could be. His father was jet black, and we see how that. So, and you come on, man, that's just insane. Like, just admit that you want to fornicate with your Rule's daughter and carry yourself on. I'm trying to repackage this as some type of revolutionary principle. No, you like flapjack. Okay, cool. Go ahead over there with that and be done with it, man. Come on, man. We got time for this type of nonsense. This is crazy. That is as crazy as the chick talking about she's so pro-black that she had to get with a white man. So, like, both the men and the women that's doing all types of mental gymnastics to say they want to fornicate with the enemy instead of just going over there with the enemy and being over there. Those are the days I miss. I miss the days when a Negro would go fornicate with the enemy and you never see him again. Like, they moved to another state, go to Iowa somewhere or Nebraska or wherever the heck they went, or all the way to LA or the West Coast from DC, and you never see them again, and you had to worry about it, right? They ain't come back trying to, come up with some type of sophisticated analysis of why they did it. Nah, that's what they wanted. That they like that person like them, and they went on the heck and produced some mulattoes and went over there, and we ain't had to see them, hear from them, nothing. But these new people, they try to find some way to, not only do they want to justify it, but they want to make you do what they doing. You know what I'm saying? They not only want to justify the behavior, but they want to recruit you into the behavior. They almost as bad as the rainbows with that. That's crazy.
I don't see rape as a possible resolution for the revolution. So any black man that's trying to say, oh yeah, we're just going to take them down via their women, it's like, okay, I don't think that, character wise, I don't think that's the way to go. But yeah, let's move on. Scholars such as Frantz Fanon and Amilcar Cabral have expressed the need for oppressed people to move as far away culturally from their oppressors. A measure of a people's readiness for liberation is how far their current cultural expression is from their enemies. Should be common sense, but we are not at that point. We're not at that point where it makes sense to do the opposite of your enemy's culture. And I think that's because most of us, do not see us as being at war. And the rest of us that do see the war, they're looking at the wrong people as their enemies. So we going in the wrong direction, as the slide says.
You know what, sister? You just, and y'all please remind me to do this, but you just reminded me of something. I got to get Mama Wilson on here when she says, "Don't see the war, we in serious trouble." You know what I'm saying? Please remind me to find that and clip that, because that is, I mean, we probably could use that every week. People will probably be like, please stop pressing that button. You know what I'm saying? It's the absolute truth. If we don't see the war, we in serious trouble. And that goes with what you just said.
Writing it down as we speak. Okay. Identity crisis and tribal loyalty. Now, I know a lot of people don't like the word tribal, which I can understand that. I myself don't really use the word tribal unless it's specific to the issues of tribalism, which aren't inherently bad, but it's one of those gray areas where you should have pride with unity, but sometimes we just take it a step too far. So standing firm in tribal identity often causes internal confusion and conflict among Black people. So at one point, I remember talking to you earlier, Brother DC, about, the who is it? I don't know which one is it, either ADOS or FBA, and how I can kind of feel for, I want to stand out distinctively as an African that was on this landmass in whatever capacity, whenever you got here. I don't want to get into all of it, right? But I say that because I can see somebody that's from a specific island saying, no, I'm not from Jamaica, I'm from Barbados, or I'm from this other, like, it's a whole different place. So there's nothing wrong with you having your identity and upholding it. But the confusion comes in where now you're trying to, there's a lot of confusion. Actually, I was about to pinpoint one, and I thought about a few points of confusion. There's a lot of confusion that can come along with that if we're not all on the same page about standards and principles. So what I just described kind of sounds a little bit like the cooperative nationalism concept that Brother DC mentioned earlier, where I am my nation, you are your nation, and we work together. We don't have to have this, oh, you're over there, so you're not on my team, and that means I'm not going to support you, and I actually wish for your downfall. It's like, whoa, it doesn't need to be all of that. We're operating from a Yorugu mindset when we act like that, especially towards people that look like ourselves. So the African Americans that are like, oh, they from the Caribbean, and so, not to say, okay, no, literally they aren't from here, but that doesn't mean that you need to not look down on them. And you have to understand the context of your enemy. Like COINTELPRO was a deep thing. So imagine being able to now get you to look at your brothers and sisters that just got off at another stop on the same Ma'afa train, just got off at another stop, and really could benefit you here in this place if y'all would only work together. You also have to understand that our enemy is like actively aware and using us against each other. So because of language, because somebody has a specific accent, now you're looking down on them, or you're just looking at them sideways, but they look exactly like you, or just a few shades off. It's a tribal loyalty. I see a tribalism that we are not going to address until we start getting our, the compass, recentering ourselves. Unity without identity is fragile. So right now we're looking at the Caribbean, who, is in hot waters for real, because the United States military is coming through and doing as they please.
I was going to say you had your mic turned on.
Yeah, real quick. The Caribbean people that see themselves as, oh, I'm Trini, and so that means everybody else is, it's only us. But now the U.S. military is bombing boats indiscriminately. They don't care who on the boat. They don't care where the boat came from. They don't care where the boat going. So you being from Trinidad is not helping you
at all. That No, my bad, sister. Go ahead.
So that would be the unity. Hold on. Unity without identity is fragile. So we're all saying, yeah. We all come from this island, but we're not identifying really who we are at our cores. So the principles that we stand on, what it is that makes us who we are as citizens of the African nation, right? If you don't have that, you're gonna fall apart. You're not gonna know that ultimately that one island is not gonna be able to fight the enemy. We have to be united, larger than just the geography. It's the difficult concept to explain at this point, but I'm trying to get through it. Unity without identity is fragile. Did you want to add to that before I go to the next one?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that the whole FBA thing, FBA thing is a prime example of that, because trying to unify around a false identity is why they haven't actually accomplished anything, and the only thing they can do is attack other black people. Because I wouldn't have, the idea that you have to delineate as if we haven't delineated before, to me is silly, because I'm like, none of that is going to stop any bullets, as I said before, from my enemy. Like, if you want to get, I'm just keeping it 100. If you want to get respect from other people, we got respect. There's a reason why people came here and followed Garvey. There's a reason why people came here and followed Malcolm. There's a reason why people came here and followed Robert F. Williams and the Panthers and stuff like that. They was getting bodied. You want to get respect from other people, show the capacity to defend yourself and to crush your enemies. Everybody is down with that, dude. This is real talk. So all this other stuff is BA. I'm not gonna use the word. Y'all can figure out what BA is. And that's the reality of the situation. It's too much BA. And until it gets with something real, until then, and whatever. So, and it's just to say, I'm just gonna take this one. Real alignment requires choosing truth over popularity. The truth is, if you weak militarily and you soft and you're something, you'll be popular in this society, but around the world you've been laughing stock, and that's where the black man is right now. Straight laughing stock. On some realness. Like, people over on the continent think we're a bunch of homos, because the people they see ain't got no manhood in it. And it's disgusting. It makes people want to throw up just thinking about it. Bro, you got ripped off, says King Menelik not opening his doors to those outside of Ethiopia is what allowed the mass enslavement of our ancestors. Well, I mean, there was a lot of things that allowed the mass enslavement of our ancestors. We can point to a lot of people. But yeah, Ethiopians definitely have they have historically had a superiority. I just said. So, Najai, you got anything you want to add as far as this real alignment requires you to prove properly?
Well, yes, I want to go back to what you said about BA and transition into back into the second bullet. Identity without courage is performative. So, even if you can wear the red, black, and green and truly believe and proclaim that you're an African and you are moving African principles, if you don't have courage, it's ultimately performative, because when it comes down to it, and it is coming down to it, it's going to get to a point where, and honestly, it already was at a point where if you stood out as somebody that had knowledge, you were going to have to really be willing to fight for yourself, because the enemy was just looking at you, trying to get you. Now, the it's so easy to be performative now. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, can I use an example that everybody missed and a lot of people failed? That jab. That jab.
Yeah.
Was the test to see who believes in what.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to take this from you. We're going to take that from you. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Yeah, now let's see who's going to stand on business. And a lot of people who claim to be come from various states of knowledge did not stand on business on that jab. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. You know, those of us that people that I've learned from. You know, I'm just a student. People that I'm supposed to be looking up to you as leaders and in the community, but you failed to. I don't know if it was the courage. I know for some people it was the courage, because they really did put pressure on people. They really did. People were losing their jobs. People were not able to, you know, come home and be with family. Like it was a lot of pressure. So it's courage, and I want to say it's also analysis and just really not being up to date with the front lines. And I think that's something that Brother Jeannie had explained one time, of like some of the people that, it's not to take away any of their teachings, but it's like you just are playing on yesterday's battlefield. And so you know, they got caught up, and because we're not unified, we're not able to keep our elders even up to date on how we need to be protecting ourselves. So it's a lot of ways that people got caught up with that. But anyway, we'll keep going. A system that devalues intelligence. You're right, there are a lot of slides. Man, okay.
I'm just over here laughing because sister, she put up, when I was, at first I was like, you finished? And she's like, no, I'm still working on it. Then I went back a couple of hours later. I was like, yeah, she must have worked every minute, because this is a lot of stuff all of a sudden. And now she's like, oh yeah, you're right. You're like, yeah, you put a lot of information in.
Yeah, you break it down like that.
I just wish it's profound. I just wish we had more people in the audience. I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know. But not, go ahead, sister.
Do you want to, because we hitting up on 2 hours now, you want to make this one the last one, and we continue next week Tuesday?
No, we can continue till 8:30 unless you can't. Because at the top of the hour, I'm going to read the announcement again, and then we should be able to finish. Hopefully, till 8:30. I'm good till 8:30 now. So,
okay. I don't think I'll be good until 8:30. I think that we'll see. I feel like this slide alone, but we'll see. A system that devalues intelligence. The United States rewards compliance more than critical thought. Picture the scene of a high schooler not being able to spell the word cute, not being able to spell the word philosophy. This is a video I just recently saw where a father was, I don't know if he actually kicked the 2 boys out of the house, but somebody said that he did. So I don't know if he did, but I can see being so bewildered as to how a child of that age is not able to spell such a basic word as cute, a word that we use all the time. Now, the next issue is the public fool system is not only producing fools, but miseducating to the degree that we have children going to school, having the love of learning sucked out of them, and having a love of ignorance instilled. That's what's going on in the public school system. The public school system is not whatever you think is happening. That is not what's happening. So you might have remembered in school that people, get worksheets and open up to page this, and we're going to do this activity. And, that sounds like that's what's going on now. That's surface level. But what's really going on is that the system is creating fools, literally. In addition to creating fools, literally, and I'll say that, you'll get some schools better than others, right? But all of the schools are rewarding compliance over critical thought. All public school system schools are rewarding compliance. Even the best school, the best blue ribbon, this and that, got, IQs out the woo. It's still rewarding compliance. It is not trying to develop a critical thinker. It's not trying to develop somebody that is able to solve problems in their community. That's not what's happening at all. Whatever you think is happening, I'm telling you, it's the complete opposite. I haven't been in school for some time, but I've been around people that are either parents of children in schools, or I've been around children that are in schools themselves. I'm trying to send out a warning to let you know that in most recent times, school is 100% focused on socialization. Matter of fact, I'll be nice. 90% focused on socialization. And that's a lot of what homeschoolers hear of why would you keep your child at home and keep them from other children? And, they need to socialize. Da, 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 da. I would never want my child to be socialized in that type of environment because I don't want them to turn out in that kind of way. It is absolutely abhorrent. It's awful. So for you to have an idea about your spouse, you have to consider that the dating pool is 80% R word. I don't know. I feel like if I could say DJEW, if I could say Jew, I should be able to say retarded. And I'm not trying to say retarded to say to be mean. I'm trying to literally use the word retarded. I'm not trying to say, these people are just dumb. I'm saying, no, literally, they have been kept back.
A process has been implemented on them. Right.
Yes. To keep them back from reaching developmental basics. We're not even talking about potential, right? We've gone well beyond that conversation. And that's a crime in itself, to take away the potential of a child. But to go so far as to keep them from reaching developmental standards, it's really that bad. That's really what's happening in the school system. When you send your child to school, that's what you're doing. And I know I sound harsh, but this is the hill that I kill on every time. That's what's happening. And
Can I say something?
Yes.
Can I say something real quick, sister? No, people don't understand that the reason that it's done systematically is because our enemy has outthought us, and the ultimate enemy is outthinking everyone. And the reason they do that because they're in charge of the education for everyone. So this is not just a black people thing. This, as far as the critical aspect, it's not just a black people thing. It's a Hispanic people thing. It's a white people thing. The capacity of a perfect example is politics. When you hear people discussing politics, any person that is still caught up in the two-party duopoly, as they like to say, is a person that's not thinking critically. They're only thinking emotionally, or they're not thinking at all, because that there is a demonstrative difference about how these people who a bunch of rich people financing feel about the average person. You're just very confused. That's all I can say. And you hate to say it, that not too swift. That's all I'm. That's all I'm gonna say on that. But go ahead, my sister.
They say the wheel is running, but the hamster is dead. There's just nothing going on upstairs. That's really what the dating pool is. I'm not gonna do the percent, but that is the majority of the people that you're arguing with online. The people that you feel like you about to crash out on at the grocery store barely made it through the system of it's really a bad situation. The United States, when people say, oh, the United States is number one, we are number one in a lot of ways, and one of them is pushing ignorance. I don't know a country that does that better. I think we push ignorance the best in the world. And we're shooting for the universe.
I get it. Oh man, you start making me laugh. But no, you see it, and I mean, you just see it. I'm not gonna lie. There's times I walk outside and I look around and I'm thinking to myself, okay, either I am crazy or this segment of the city I am looking at is crazy, because this ain't normal, and I'm not going to accept it as normality. And yeah, this is crazy. Like, that dude wearing a dress, that ain't normal. This dude smoking whatever the heck he's smoking at 9 a.m. ain't normal. These people going to the liquor store that I ain't even know was open at time that people should be going to work, that ain't normal. Whatever this dude is doing is speeding up the block. You know what I'm saying? That ain't normal. These clothes that this woman is wearing is not normal. This woman that's yelling at her child that barely walk, ain't none of this normal. You know what I'm saying? And the bad part is, this is the type of stuff I see every day, right? Every single day. But I refuse to accept that any of this is normal. This is not normal human behavior. Mm-hmm. And there are some places where the stuff I'm mentioning is mild, and they would love that to be their day, because what they got going on is way worse. You know what I'm saying? But this is, I mean, hey man, it is crazy out here for real. I had to get that off my chest. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. The United States is pushing out hundreds of thousands of schools of graduates of the School of Insanity. It's wild out here. Next up, love rooted in intelligence, foresight, and strategy is rare and undervalued among Black people. There are Black women that would turn down a man that is trying to family plan for the future, and really support her bettering herself, and like, she would turn him down and look down on him as either boring or just I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking, but that's typically what you'll see is like, oh nah, I don't want to be with him. I'm not interested in that kind of love. So when I think about love rooted in intelligence, unfortunately, the first thing that I think about is Howard. I think about, being on campus and being in the life of like, okay, who's going to be in this class, and I'm looking for marriage. Like, I'm here for school, but I'm looking for marriage, and it just feels like the vibes are right, and the whole HBCU culture. I think about love rooted in intelligence. But unfortunately, as soon as we get to foresight, all of those people drop off. Strategy, all of those people drop off. Because are you really being strategic behind enemy lines? You can't possibly think about you're not using foresight if you're pledging Greek. It just doesn't, you're not using regular sight if you're pledging Greek. So the numbers that we think we have when it comes to love rooted in intelligence it's much lower than that. And the whole concept of, dating, not even dating, but courting for strategy and intelligence and nation building, people don't value it. People are not looking. There's no shows about that. There's no reality TV show about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest, sister. If you wanna, and I ain't even talking about just young women, but shoot, sometimes you want to. There's a lot of women in their 40s don't want to have that conversation, to be completely honest. Like, if you want to dry them up, man, you get to talking too much about that type of stuff, and they just start looking at you like, they're like, sir, I really don't feel like talking about that right now. Yeah, this is not what is the standard look like.
Emotional impulsivity is normalized. Wisdom is sidelined. Somebody that is going to, I think you were giving the example of the woman that cheated on her husband just because she thought wrong. And so she just, in the moment, emotionally, impulsively made a decision that ruined everything. The push to, oh, he did this to you, go key his car. He did that to you. I saw the one video, lady cut off the man's locks. Like, what are you doing? What is going on? And there's no accountability for that. So not only is it normalized, it's running rampant. There's no system that we as a people really have taken control of that's going to cut back on that kind of behavior. The Urugu police are not going to correct our community. It's not going to happen. It's just not. Wisdom is sidelined, meaning that the cool character, the Iwapele, the people that are waiting patiently to take over and regain power, those are not people that are at the top of the what is it, I don't want to say dating pool again, but those are not the people that are looked at. Nobody really is checking for the person that is cool, calm, and collected. The person that is saying, whoa, hold up, I don't think that's the right thing to do. That's usually the person that is getting, disrespected. For real.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say real quick, sister, that I don't know how we go about it, but because the whole society, and especially our culture, especially the hijacking of hip hop, has made ignorance popular. We have to find some type of way to make intelligence cool again. Just as an example, obviously he has his issues because he's an entertainer, but I've been looking at what Nas has been doing as far as hip hop this year, and bringing in different older artists and just some of his performances and stuff, and some of his business moves, and people are showing admiration for him. And I'm laughing in my own way because I'm like, y'all literally, the whole industry kind of like tried to downplay this dude for some of his lyrics and some of the things he was trying to do and some of the positive stuff that he was doing. And it's funny because he almost like the last man standing, you know what I'm saying, out that generation of hip hop, and is being successful. But even with him doing what he's doing, you don't see, or I don't see, younger rappers emulating. So even if people acknowledge it and say it's cool, and like, oh man, he's doing XYZ, and this is a world famous celebrity,
it still ain't good enough to make younger people in his field follow in his footsteps. You know what I'm saying? So the little bit of intelligence, a little bit of wisdom he's showing and some of the jewels he dropped, it still ain't enough to change the standard behavior of people in his field, and they project that to our children. So if he was able to do that, right? If he was able to influence people to be more intelligent and do business with each other, and you know what I'm saying, whatever positive stuff he may be doing, I mean, it's still not enough. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of who he is and his status.
Yeah, it's funny because recently online there's been this trend called the quarter zip, which I guess quarter zip is a type of sweater, looks like some kind of jacket that is giving the impression of somebody that's professional, somebody that's really serious, somebody that's like on their game and taking care of business. And the funny part of it is that there's people saying, oh, well, you know, people are going from YNs to quarter zips. So young people are choosing, instead of the look of being a YN and wearing the hoodie and face mask and all of that, instead I'm gonna wear a quarter zip and I'm gonna get my life together and, you know, start going to school again and, you know, really start to do what's right. And then, you know, that's probably been a trend for, let's say, like 2-3 weeks or so. It's been a trend for a minute, like really a viral popping trend, right? But a song just came out the other day by a famous rapper that just got out of jail. So he dropped his first day out music video and all of that. And you see people already throwing away their quarter zips and being like, oh, forget that, we back on. Like and it's the idea that we thought we had some progress there going towards making it cool to be intelligent, immediately was sidetracked by just one rap song. So we are swimming against a waterfall.
That's disappointing, because I just became aware of the quarter zip thing. And what was crazy is I saw black women speaking against it, and I was just like, I'm like, y'all really do hate black women. Because how can you hate on that? Like, these are young people, like you said, they putting away the shiesty, they putting away the hoodies, and you know, they pulling their pants up, and they want to look professional and clean cut. Y'all hate on that. I'm like, man, goodness. And now you telling me that some random probably not that talented rapper that ended the whole thing before it got started is wild, man.
Yeah.
Like, can't have nothing about it.
Well, you're gonna find a black woman talking against anything. There's always gonna be at least one black woman out there talking against whatever it is. I've been going back and forth.
I would love for it to have been one, but it wasn't.
No, I think I might have seen the video that you're talking about. I was about to say, I've been going back and forth with a woman that was talking down on Ibrahim Traore, trying to say, oh, well, he wasn't really voted in, and so it's not real liberation, and the people don't really like him. And it's like, lady, shut up. What are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking. Come to find out, she married to a white man with 2 mulatto children. So that was pretty much the end of the conversation from that point. But yeah, you're always going to find now, the black woman that I saw talking against it, everybody started laughing at her because she was trying to describe that, okay, y'all are putting on these quarter zips trying to say what? Like, you want to look like white men? You think that white people are the measure of success? Which, you know, might be a valid argument if she didn't have a blonde wig on. If she didn't have a blonde wig on, that might have stood up in my court, but no.
Lord, the lack of self-awareness is crazy.
Yeah. You want to move on to the next one? This is 8:16.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Character and courage are penalized. Moral character is not incentivized, meaning that, you can make a post promoting genocide, the specific genocide of the Israelis killing off Palestinians, and you will get $7,000 for one post. Have no moral compass, and you will never miss out on money. Money's always going to be there for you if you just have no moral compass whatsoever.
I just want to say real quick, nobody's paying you to do the right thing nowadays, and if they are, please direct that person to me, so you know what I'm saying, we can make some type of arrangement. That's all I'm saying.
Courage can cost relationships, status, or even safety. Going back to the jab, people losing their jobs, doctors losing the ability to speak online, people losing their life because they spoke out. That's I think the saddest part about the COVID jab pandemic situation was the families breaking apart, the relationships falling apart because of this, pandemic.
No, that's real. I have people that I didn't see for a couple of years because they were just literally just scared to death because of what the propaganda had put forward, and they just didn't want to risk having people in the house that hadn't gotten that jab.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great way to whip people back under, even if you had a little bit of pride and race pride or love of self, if you were starting to garner a little bit of consciousness, it was a quick way to snap everybody. Okay, you can think it's black and proud, but you are gonna fall under, bend over for evil. That was we're gonna be studying that for a while, if we make it that long to do so. It might be the civilization that is recovered that goes and studies COVID, because I don't know how much we got. COVID is not done, by the way. The pandemic, that was part one. That was the first part of the pandemic. You're still in it. Next up, love that demands accountability is labeled as harsh or toxic. So we see a lot of that of saying toxic masculinity. If your man wants you to change what you're wearing before you leave out, or if you have standards, I don't know, it's just any kind of boundaries or rules, or you as a man don't have the ability to say what you want your relationship to look like, because some kind of way it's going to be labeled as toxic or harsh. I don't know how women do it. I do, because I am a woman, and I have certainly used the tactics of to get what you want, but the ma'at and the balance within doesn't allow foolishness to just roll over, because it's like you have to understand the concept that your entire buttocks being out and about at the same time is not desirable for the person that values you and is looking to protect your body from harm. There's no way that can be explained, in a nice way, and then you walk away from that conversation as a woman being like, he got problems. Like you said, the mental gymnastic for that one, I can't comprehend. I know that I've seen mothers tell fathers that they're being too harsh on the daughters for saying like, oh, you know, let her paint her nails, let her do this, let her, you know, wear this or get her ears pierced or whatever. I've seen that labeled as harsh, and there's almost a little bit of wiggle room for like maybe his delivery was harsh, or, you know, maybe he's holding the weight of the world so much so that he gave a little bit of that weight to the daughter in a way that wasn't really necessary. But I have that I can almost see. But the toxic label is, I don't understand how people get to that point. I really don't. I really do not. You have anything to add?
No, sister. I was just gonna let you, because you had took up issue with the women, so I was just gonna let you guys go forward with that, and I'm just gonna, I was just letting you do your thing.
I mean, I guess you say it like that. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just getting ready to say the number of things that are labeled toxic is only outnumbered by the number of things that are labeled what's the word? Not suspect. What's the other word they use? When a man won't agree to do something that the women want, all of a sudden his sexuality is in question.
He's sassy now.
Yeah, sassy. There it is. Yeah, the toxicity is only surpassed by the sassiness in the mind of a lot of these women. So, yeah, I mean, it's to the point now where men have just made a mantra that women's kryptonite is accountability, and it's to the point where I get sick of hearing the men saying it, and I get sick of the women giving them a reason to say it. You know what I'm saying? So the thing just makes me sick after a while. So yeah,
the sassy thing is a problem, because I mean, all of it is a problem, but to call a man sassy because you didn't get what you wanted, or because you're not happy with the logic behind his decisions, is really dangerous and really hurtful. I think because the leg BQ issue is so bad now, we're desensitized to just calling a man gay. But I remember a time where if you called a man gay before you even really finish the sentence, it's a fight. You call a man outside of his name in that kind of way, and now it's real big beef. It's real problems. Somebody's dying, at the very least getting slapped. And so I think that goes back to that, the slide talking about how we disrespect each other. Women don't understand how disrespectful that is, because this newer generation is growing up in an age where everybody's queer. So when we talked about what the fool system does, it pushes out ignorance, and it pushes out queerness, which really could be one and the same. And I think that's why women just be so loosey-goosey with the statement, oh, well, he's just gay. We see too many of them.
It's also weird that they always apply it to the dude that's obviously not.
Who's obviously not gay. Well, right. the issue of DL. So, yeah. I mean, it's hard to say who's obviously not gay.
Well, yeah, I guess you could say that. I guess. Yeah, because, I mean, it's hella gay in DC, so that's for sure. Ain't no doubt about that part. So, I guess we can move on.
Right. Here, hold on. Yeah. I guess you're determined that we're going to finish all of this. We're not going to save nothing.
Oh, all right, sister. We can.
Because you said you were going to do an announcement at the top of the hour. Did we do that? Did I miss that?
No, we did not. So
okay.
We're going to stop here, because the sister's like, bruh.
It's like we got a long way to go.
Okay, I didn't think we had that much to go, but fine, because I know the last one, the summary was like long, so I'm doing that. So, thank you, Sister Najai, for putting that up. I mean, for bringing it.
to the forefront. That information was outstanding. Again, let me say that 9th annual Dr. Chancellor Williams Day celebration is this Sunday, December 21st. It will be starting off with breakfast. We'll be gathering at the Anacostia Busboys and Poets, which is located at 2004 MLK Junior Avenue, Southeast Washington, D.C., 2020. This will be from 10:30 a.m. till 12:30 a.m. Then we'll be proceeding forward to get in vehicles to go to the gravesite, which is in Lincoln Memorial Cemetery, which is located at 4001 Suitland Road, Suitland, Maryland, Section O, Lot 618, Grave 5. Right now, the plan is to film. Hopefully, I have empty memory cards. I have to try to find one so that I can film and document it. And if I film it, the raw footage will be sent out to those who have donated or those who have memberships. And so that's how that will go. Also, we do have previously filmed ones. I will go through the archives and send some of those out to members of the channel and supporters. And so again, if you're in the DMV area, come out and join us for our 9th annual Dr. Chancellor Williams Day celebration. Dr. Chancellor Williams, of course, is our scholar who gave us the book, The Destruction of Black Civilization. He worked for years, I believe 15 years of research in order to come up with that book and to show us who we were and how we fell and how we can rise back up. So again, we'll be meeting at Busboys and Poets at 10:30 and at the Anacostia site, and then going to Lincoln Memorial Cemetery at 1 p.m. So, Sister Najai, you have anything to say before we close out?
I really look forward to this Sunday. I myself have never been. This will be one of the first winters that I'm experiencing here in the DMV area for a while, so it's worth the cold. I'm not gonna lie. It's worth the cold to experience this celebration. I'm really looking forward to it. Outside of that, I guess you can follow me at Nefer Najai, NFR NAJ on Instagram and Rumble and Twitch. My Cashapp is Nefer Najai Expounded, so NEFER Nefer Najai NAJAI, and my website is realkkkkk.com. I enjoyed creating this slide and going over it because in general I like solutions. I'm a solutionary, and if you're also a solutionary, you will enjoy my website. Yeah, we're gonna have to add a few more slides, because although we have slides left over for Tuesday, I don't know that it'll be enough to run the full 2 hours. I'll think a little bit more on it, and then we can add in to the conversation.
Okay, sister. Well, yeah, you do that. And what was I getting ready to say? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. What I may take up some time to give a recap if anything substantial happens as far as the celebration. It's normally forward or whatever. Or maybe I'll show some clips, or maybe I'll show some clips of previous ones. I may do something like that to fill in the time as well. So
that'd be nice.
See, we'll discuss it over the weekend. I have a better feel once the event occurs, really. So go ahead, sister.
No, I was saying solid. I look forward to it.
Okay. So I think with that, brothers and sisters, we're going to close out. Again, I'm your host, DC Radical 1. along with our sister Najai. You can follow me on Instagram at dc.radical1, on Twitter at dcradical_ONE, on OTW2, which is a black-owned platform, at dcradical1. If you found value in this information or you like the channel, you can help us stay on by donating via Cashapp, $DC Radical1, or via Zelle at dc.radical_1 at protonmail.com. And we plan to, and I actually got to do some things to make sure this plan works. We plan to come on next week early, Monday and Tuesday, due to the fact of course, the unholy days and everything. And it's possible we'll be on Wednesday. So by Sunday, you should know. Just look on the YouTube channel for the updated thumbnails and show titles. And I just want to thank everybody who hung in there with us and watched the show, and those of you who have been supporting us for a long time. And we have new subscribers, so hopefully the new subscribers will be watching, because I looked and we're over the 1,400 mark as far as subscribers, and of course we're past the 10K mark on Instagram. And so the audience is growing, and hopefully the message will be spreading. So again, I thank you all, and with that I say a BB for ODA and straight black.
Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also follow us on our other social media platforms. On Instagram, we're at dc.radical1. On Twitter, we're at dc_radical_ONE. And the Cash App is $DC Radical1. Again, thank you for subscribing. A BB for ODA and straight black pride.